some women when their relationship with a man isn't what it used to be. So for example, a guy starts to ghost them, a guy becomes inconsiderate, doesn't have time for date nights anymore, or he starts to lose interest and so on. They think, I have to make him fear losing me, because when he fears losing me, he's going to fight for me. He will drop everything. He will realize and then perhaps even confess how much he loves me, what I mean to him, how important I am to him, that I'm the first thing on his mind when he wakes up and the last thing he thinks about before falling asleep. Yeah, that sounds great. That's a great love strategy. Let's make him fear losing me. Well, that's actually one of the worst things a woman can ever do in her love life. So let's find out why that is and what to do instead in this video. I'm an author. My name is Geert. What was that? So that's why I use a pen name Brian Knox, and I write books about handling difficult emotions, about relationships, about dating, and other topics, but I'll dive right in. First things first, it's fine that a man fears losing you, because the opposite is the guy that is not afraid to lose you and that knows that he can do whatever he wants in that relationship because you will stick around anyway. Not good. The problem is the verb make. If you have to make him fear losing you, then that means that you will be playing games in that relationship. This means that you will hurt your love life and that you're potentially going to destroy your self-esteem. That's not okay. So always remember, if you have to make a man feel anything, then he's probably not the right guy for you. If you have to make him love you, if you have to make him fear losing you, then this means that these feelings are not there organically, on their own. So even if you then get him to love you, if you get him to fear losing you, you will have a lot of hard work ahead of you in that relationship. You will have to sleep with one eye open, and that's never okay. I talk about mind games often, and a mind game is when our mind makes a mistake and, for example, believes that something is totally true when in reality it really isn't. So here's the first funny thing in this case. If your mind ever thinks, I have to change what he feels about me, I have to change his feelings, then it's probably because this guy is really important to you. Maybe you love him a lot. Maybe you think he's your perfect match, or the one, your soulmate, your twin flame, or whatever. Is he really though? How can he ever possibly be that very important guy to you? If you have to make him feel things for you, how can he ever be the one? He has disqualified himself by not having those feelings organically. So it's a mind game if this happens. It's not because our mind thinks that someone is important to us that that person is important, that that person is making our life better. But because of the mind game, we may then want to fight for that relationship, or at least for what we believe that relationship could one day become. Just imagine what the rest of that relationship would then look like. Good morning, honey. Did you sleep okay? Quick question. Are you still afraid of losing me? No? Well, then I must inform you that I went out on a date with another guy last night. I know you thought I was sleeping right next to you, but those were just a couple of pillows and some of your teddy bears. I was out all night with a hot guy and we had a great first date. And those 12 messages that arrived on my phone, other interested men. All real alpha males, FYI. If this is a little bit too nasty for you, you can also say, I went out on a jog last night and I almost got lost. I couldn't find my way back home. It's because all the houses and the streets look alike in this neighborhood. But just imagine what it would feel like if I would never, ever come home again. Ever. Is that a smile on your face? Or maybe, you know how you always freak out when you can't find the TV remote or the keys of your car, right? Very scary when that happens, isn't it? Now, what if that was me? What if you would lose me? As you can see, if you have to play games like these, then you're fighting an uphill battle. It's obviously not going to be an awesome relationship then if you have to keep games like these up. Now, I understand that if you ever think about using a strategy like this, then it's because you will have a lot of feelings for him. He's slipping away, he seems to be losing interest, the relationship seems to be ending, and you want to prevent that. You want to save that relationship. You want to fight for it, and the end may justify the means. But it's still a mind game. It's never your job to give him feelings for you. So if you ever feel like you have to change who you are, or how you look, or what you're interested in, or the kind of underwear you wear, or who you are personality-wise, so he would like you more, so he would love you more, then he's going to be a bad man for you. He may be a great guy, but to you, for you, is going to be a very bad man because he will make you lose yourself. See? That's what you should actually fear, Don't make him fear losing you. Be afraid to lose yourself in that relationship. Because if you ever have to fight to keep a guy interested in you, then you will lose yourself in that relationship. That's a promise. And it's also going to take you a very long time to recover because this will destroy your self-esteem. And no guy is ever worth that. So don't ever fight for him to have feelings for you. Don't fight for his attention. Don't fight for his affection. Don't fight for his love. Fight for him when he just got mugged and the 8-year-old that stole his wallet is still pinning him down to the ground with his skateboard. Fight for him when he's really sick, when he's in his bed, and when he needs some of your love, some of your care, some of your awesome chicken soup. Fight for the relationship when something happened that hurt the relationship, but you can see that he's fighting just as hard as you are to save that relationship. So if you have to make him feel or do anything in that relationship, then he disqualified himself. We should never fight for someone who isn't fighting for us. Relationships are hard. Always, even when we found the right person to be with. But if both people don't want to make that relationship work, if both people are not interested in learning how to make the other person feel happy, feel loved, feel content in that relationship, then you might as well try to sell a Tesla to an Amish farmer. It's kind of pointless. So if you ever feel like you need to use a strategy to make him fear losing you, then he's not who you think he is. He's not the amazing guy that will make you happy and that will give you a great love life. And he will probably have been proving that every single day. Probably as soon as the very first date. Fight for the guy that makes you feel happy. Never fight for the guy that makes you feel miserable. Now, when a woman doesn't play games like these because she only invests in a guy and in a relationship with him when he's investing in her and in that relationship just as much as she is, when they both want the same thing, and that is for that relationship to have a future, to succeed, to grow, that's really important. When she's herself in that relationship and when she's very unapologetic about it because she's not afraid to lose him by being herself, then he will, just like her, make sure that they don't lose each other organically, no games required. And if that doesn't happen, then it means that he simply isn't the right guy for her. And although realizing this and then ending it will always hurt a lot, like as if someone dropped a bulldozer on your head, it will hurt a whole lot less than trying to hang on to someone who doesn't want to be with us. And it's when we realize this, and when we show that we realize this through our actions, that we can become the most attractive version of ourselves. And when we become that most attractive version of ourselves, that's when we start to attract the right people for us. And there you go. I hope you appreciated the message of this video. I've loved making it for you, as always. If you would like to listen to some podcasts or watch some videos that I'm not sharing over here, come on over to brianknox.com. Make sure to subscribe to my free mailing list over there. If you would like to read any of my books or listen to any of my books, then go to Amazon, type in my pen name, Brian Knox, in the search bar over there. Then you will get a full list of all of my books. I will put links to everything underneath this video in the description as well. I want to thank you for watching until the end. You know how much I love it when you do that, and I hope to see you in another video.